Beneath the surface of the world's oceans lies a realm older than civilization, deeper than imagination, and far more dangerous than most minds can comprehend. It is a place where silence can kill, beauty can deceive, and wonder often hides something far more lethal. This is the deep blue world, mysterious, powerful, and unforgiving. Today we explore its 7 deadliest wonders. The first is the trench abyss, the ocean's deepest scars. At pressures so extreme that steel begins to bend like paper, these trenches are not empty voids, they are crushing chambers where even the strongest machines struggle to survive. One miscalculation, one crack in structure, and everything disappears into eternal darkness. The second wonder is the rogue wave phenomenon. These massive walls of water can rise without warning, towering higher than ships and swallowing entire structures in seconds. They are not gentle giants, they are moving mountains of destruction, born from chaotic collisions of ocean currents and storms. The third is the silent killers of the deep, bioluminescent predators. In the pitch-black ocean depths, light becomes a weapon. Creatures lure their prey, using glowing traps, deceiving the curious into becoming the hunted. In this world, beauty is often the final mistake. Forth comes the hydrothermal vents, underwater volcanic chimneys that release superheated toxic minerals. Around them, life thrives in bizarre forms, but only those adapted to extreme poison and heat. For anything else, even a brief encounter means instant devastation. The fifth wonder is the great coral graveyards, where reefs once full of life slowly turn into skeletal remains. Rising temperatures and acidifying waters transform vibrant ecosystems into silent, brittle ruins. It is not sudden death, but slow collapse, just as dangerous, just as final. The sixth is the pressure collapse zones, where ocean currents converge with overwhelming force. Here, underwater landscapes shift violently, and even stable terrain can fracture without warning. These zones remind us that the ocean floor is not still, it is constantly moving, reshaping itself in hidden fury. Finally, the seventh wonder is the deep soundscape, a world of mysterious, unexplainable noises echoing through the water. Some come from shifting ice, some from tectonic movement, and others remain unidentified. These sounds travel for thousands of kilometers, reminding us that the ocean is always speaking, but we do not fully understand its language. Together, these 7 wonders reveal a truth often forgotten. The ocean is not just a source of life, it is also a force of immense power and danger. It gives, it takes, it creates, and it destroys, all without hesitation. And beneath its shimmering surface, the greatest mystery remains not what we have discovered, but what still waits in the deep blue darkness, untouched and unknown. The ocean's deepest trenches are extreme pressure zones where survival is nearly impossible, and even advanced machines can fail. In the deepest parts of the ocean lie the trench abyss zones, places so remote and extreme that they feel almost disconnected from the rest of Earth. These are not ordinary depressions in the seafloor, but vast, crushing valleys formed by the shifting of tectonic plates over millions of years. What makes them truly dangerous is not only their depth, but the unimaginable pressure that exists within them. As one descends further into these dark chasms, the weight of the entire ocean above begins to press down with relentless force, increasing until it reaches levels that can compress steel, distort metal, and destroy most human-made structures in moments. At such depths, even the strongest submarines must be engineered with extraordinary precision just to survive brief explorations. A single structural weakness, a minor crack, or a miscalculated stress point can lead to catastrophic failure. The environment does not forgive errors. There is no gradual warning, no time for recovery, only instant collapse under forces that behave like invisible giants pressing from every direction at once. The darkness is absolute, meaning there is no natural light, no visual reference, and no sense of distance. It is a world where perception itself becomes unreliable, and navigation depends entirely on technology that is constantly tested by harsh conditions. Despite these extreme dangers, life still exists in some trench systems, though it is strange and heavily adapted. Creatures found here are often small, fragile in appearance, yet capable of surviving crushing pressure that would destroy most known organisms. They rely on slow metabolism, unique biological structures, and chemical energy sources rather than sunlight. However, even these resilient forms exist on the edge of survival. The trench abyss represents one of the most hostile environments on Earth, a place where exploration is not just difficult but fundamentally risky. Every mission into these depths is a confrontation with the limits of engineering, biology, and human curiosity. It reminds us that beneath the calm surface of the ocean lies a realm that operates under entirely different rules. Silent, immense, and powerful enough to erase anything unprepared to enter it. Rogue waves are sudden, massive walls of water that can appear without warning and destroy ships and structures instantly. Rogue waves are among the most terrifying and unpredictable phenomena found in the ocean. Unlike regular waves that follow somewhat predictable patterns influenced by wind and tides, rogue waves appear suddenly, rising from relatively calm seas without clear warning. They can reach heights far greater than surrounding waves, sometimes forming massive vertical walls of water that seem almost unnatural in their formation and behavior. For centuries, sailors spoke of such waves as myths or exaggerations, but modern science has confirmed their existence, revealing them as real and extremely dangerous oceanic events. What makes rogue waves so deadly is their suddenness and sheer force. A ship navigating what appears to be normal sea conditions may have only seconds to respond before encountering a towering wave capable of overwhelming even large vessels. These waves are not simply large swells, they are often the result of complex interactions between multiple wave systems, including constructive interference, strong ocean currents, and storm-driven energy. When these forces align in just the right way, energy concentrates into a single powerful surge of water that rises far above the surrounding sea level. The impact of a rogue wave can be catastrophic. Ships can be severely damaged, capsized, or even broken apart under the immense pressure. Offshore structures such as oil platforms are also vulnerable, despite being engineered to withstand harsh marine conditions. The unpredictability of these waves makes them especially dangerous, as they do not follow consistent patterns or seasonal behavior, meaning they can occur in seemingly calm weather or during storms. Another disturbing aspect is how quickly they disappear after forming. A rogue wave rises, strikes, and then vanishes back into the ocean, leaving little trace behind except destruction. This fleeting nature adds to the difficulty of studying them in real time. Rogue waves serve as a powerful reminder of the ocean's hidden volatility. Beneath its surface calmness lies a system of immense energy, capable of creating sudden, violent expressions of force that challenge both human understanding and maritime safety. They stand as one of the ocean's most unpredictable and fearsome wonders, demanding respect from all who venture across deep waters. The deep ocean contains bioluminescent predators, where light is used as a trap and beauty often hides danger. In the silent depths of the ocean, far beyond the reach of sunlight, exists a hidden world where light itself becomes a weapon. This is the realm of bioluminescent predators, creatures that produce their own glowing light through chemical reactions inside their bodies. At first glance, this glowing effect appears beautiful, almost magical, like drifting stars in a black sky. But beneath that beauty lies a deadly strategy designed for survival in one of the harshest environments on Earth. In the deep sea, where darkness is absolute, vision becomes limited and every flicker of light carries meaning. Many predators use bioluminescence not for attraction alone, but as a form of deception. Some species create glowing lures that mimic smaller organisms, drawing curious prey closer without revealing the predator's true shape. Others release bursts of light to confuse, blind, or disorient their targets, giving them just enough time to strike. In this world, curiosity often leads directly into danger. One of the most fascinating aspects of these creatures is how perfectly adapted they are to their environment. Without sunlight, they rely on alternative survival methods, using chemical energy instead of photosynthesis-based food chains. Their bodies are designed for efficiency in extreme pressure, cold temperatures, and near total darkness. Light, therefore, becomes not just a tool but a language, used for hunting, communication, and even camouflage. Some deep-sea predators can switch their bioluminescent patterns depending on the situation. A faint glow may be used to lure prey, while a sudden flash can scare away threats or signal danger to others of their kind. This adaptability makes them highly effective hunters in a place where food is scarce and competition is intense. Yet, despite their terrifying hunting methods, these creatures also reveal the ocean's extraordinary creativity. Life has found a way not just to survive, but to turn darkness into advantage. The deep sea, often imagined as empty and lifeless, is in fact full of glowing signals, silent ambushes, and intricate survival strategies. In this hidden world, beauty and danger are inseparable. The soft glow drifting through the darkness is not a sign of safety. It is often the final illusion before the strike. Hydrothermal vents are toxic underwater volcanic zones that support strange life forms, but are lethal to most others. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, where sunlight can no longer reach and darkness becomes absolute, hydrothermal vents rise like hidden chimneys from the seafloor. These vents are formed in areas where tectonic plates meet, allowing seawater to seep deep into the Earth's crust. There, it is heated by magma until it becomes superheated, mineral-rich fluid. This scalding liquid then bursts back into the ocean through cracks in the seafloor, creating one of the most extreme environments on the planet. The water released from these vents can reach temperatures far above boiling point, yet it does not turn into steam because of the immense pressure of the deep ocean. Instead, it forms towering plumes filled with toxic chemicals such as hydrogen sulfide, heavy metals, and dissolved minerals. These substances would be deadly to most known forms of life. Any organism not adapted to such conditions would be destroyed almost instantly upon contact. Despite this harsh environment, hydrothermal vents are home to some of the most unusual and resilient ecosystems on Earth. Instead of relying on sunlight for energy, life here depends on a process called chemosynthesis, where bacteria convert toxic chemicals into usable energy. These bacteria form the base of a unique food chain that supports strange and alien-like creatures, including tube worms, blind shrimp, and giant clams that have evolved to survive in near-total darkness and extreme chemical exposure. What makes these vents especially fascinating is their dual nature. On one hand, they are sources of life in an otherwise barren deep-sea landscape. On the other hand, they are incredibly dangerous, capable of releasing sudden bursts of heat and poison that can alter the surrounding environment. The balance between creation and destruction is constant and fragile. Hydrothermal vent systems also play an important role in shaping the chemistry of the oceans. They release minerals that circulate through deep currents, influencing marine ecosystems far beyond their immediate location. At the same time, their instability reminds us that the ocean floor is not a static place. It is dynamic, constantly reshaped by the Earth's internal forces. In this hidden volcanic world beneath the sea, life and danger exist side by side, proving that even in the most toxic and extreme conditions, nature finds a way to persist. The ocean is a constantly changing and mysterious force, with shifting terrain, unknown sounds, and hidden dangers that remain largely unexplored. Across the world's oceans, vast stretches of coral once formed some of the most vibrant and diverse ecosystems on the planet. These coral reefs were often called the rainforests of the sea, filled with color, movement, and life. However, in many regions today, these living structures have begun to transform into what can only be described as coral graveyards, silent, fading remains of ecosystems that were once thriving. This transformation does not happen overnight. It is the result of gradual but powerful environmental changes, including rising ocean temperatures, pollution, and increasing acidity in seawater. Corals are extremely sensitive organisms, living in a delicate balance with their environment. Even small shifts in temperature can cause stress, leading to a process known as bleaching, where corals expel the tiny algae that give them both color and nutrition. Without these algae, corals slowly lose their energy source and begin to die. As more corals weaken and die, entire reef systems begin to collapse. The structure that once provided shelter and food for thousands of marine species turns brittle and lifeless. Fish populations decline, biodiversity shrinks, and the once bustling underwater cities become empty skeletons. What remains is a haunting landscape of white and gray coral structures breaking apart under the pressure of waves and time. The danger of coral graveyards extends beyond marine life. Coral reefs act as natural barriers, protecting coastlines from strong waves and storms. When they disappear, coastal regions become more vulnerable to erosion and flooding. Entire communities that depend on healthy reefs for fishing and tourism also face economic and environmental loss. Even more concerning is how slowly these ecosystems recover, if they recover at all. Coral growth is extremely slow, and restoring damaged reefs requires stable environmental conditions that are increasingly rare. In many cases, recovery is overtaken by further damage, creating a cycle of decline. Yet, even in their weakened state, coral graveyards serve as a warning. They reflect the deep connection between human activity and ocean health, showing how fragile marine ecosystems truly are. These silent reef structures stand as evidence of what was lost, reminding us that the ocean's beauty is not permanent unless carefully protected and respected.